you're having a super great evening tonight at Odoo Talks, and I hope you're ready for this one, which I hope it's not only gonna be interesting but also fun. I'm Maria, business advisor here at Odoo, and let's start with how to create events and start selling tickets in the blink of an eye. Post-corona events. So actually, last year was a very bad one for the events industry. Just as of March 2020, the industry reported losses of 23 billion euros. That's huge, and that already says a lot about the importance of the event industry. But more specifically for companies, why are events important? So, in other words, event marketing is very important if you want to increase sales and to create brand awareness. It is very important to create events to gain a position in the mind of your consumers. And to do so, it's one of the best ways to do it. Most event planners actually agree that the most effective marketing tool to portray their events is social media. And we heard you about this. I'll go to that in the demo. The second one is the email. And the third one is the website where they sell their events so that the people go and check their event. And another very important feature, if not the most important feature that event planners, professionals for events are trying to check when selecting an event management software is support. They really want to feel that they're supported and they're going to get help or every step of the way. But do not worry, here at Odoo, we actually offer amazing support and we're there for you in every step of the way. So, okay, um, perfect. That's for that. Kelly, are you ready for the demo?
Let's do it. And people of Odoo, remember, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift.
Ay, Kelly. Okay, that's very important. Okay, for you, Tomorrowland, super. But no, we are not here to talk about Tomorrowland. We're here for the demo. So let's go back to this. Okay, guys, so this is how your dashboard should look like if you want to make use of the features that I will share with you. You would need to have some modules such as CRM, sales, invoicing, website, e-commerce, of course, social marketing, and of course, last but not least, events. So let's go to our event. And first, let's go to the configuration because I also need to show you the selected configurations you need to have in order to make use of the features. The first one I'm talking about just briefly because I'm going to go into detail later during the demo is booth management. So we actually hear what all the things that you tell us, like all the improvements that you would like to see, and we actually know that it is very important for different companies if they want to promote their brands at our events. So in that case, we created the booth management. I'll go more into detail during the demo, but I just want to mention that you need to have it configured. And this is very easy to configure and super useful if you want to create booths and manage the reservations. And also for the registration, okay, well, the tickets are going to be sold, so we need to select this. We're also going to ask some questions because information is power and information is money. Ask that to marketers. So in that case, we need to ask questions to the attendees when they're going to register online, which are going to be very useful for us. And also super important, well, we're going to sell our events via website, so we need to configure it to be able to sell the tickets online. Last, we also need to select the barcode scanner. So in this case, when attendees attend our event, they can easily just scan their badges and it's gonna be automatically confirmed in our system. So I think that's that. Perfect. We're now gonna go to our events. And okay, so in this case, I already have this one a bit preset, but just in a few changes we need to make, and I want to show you actually how to do it. So in this case, okay, Kelly, if you can give me some ideas, what kind of event, what type of event, names for the event that you would like to see?
Well, as you have noticed, I am in the mood for a festival. So what if we go with like Odoo Festival 2021?
Okay, perfect. Odoo Festival 20. Oh, okay. 2021. 2021. Well, sadly, because 2020 was not possible. Okay, so the date, you select it, you select your time zone. In this case, I'm selecting Brussels because we are here in Belgium. And also, let's select the venue. This is gonna be at Odoo. Please take note of our location, just so you know. And something that I want to talk to you about, the templates. These are very useful. At Odoo, we know that it's very important for you to do things super easy and super quick, and that it's not a repetitive thing. And if it's something repetitive, well, ideally, there has to be a way to make it easy. So in this case, imagine that you create 100 events per year, and they're all super similar, and the only thing that changes is perhaps sometimes a bit of the price, a bit of the, well, a lot of the name of the event. So in this case, what you can do is create templates. This is what I just did. So in this case, for example, you select a template which I already created previously, and then it's all gonna be populated, so all the information you have, and you just create your event. So to explain to you a bit more about it, for this specific template, I created two types of tickets, such as regular tickets, which are cheap, okay, 20 euros, and VIP tickets, okay, well, they're a bit more expensive, of course. And also, something that I want you to note, you can limit the registrations to your event. So, even though we would like to create an event that's huge, now with Corona, it's still not possible. So, let's say we limit our registrations to 5,000 attendees. Um, and also, you can link this attendance limit to your tickets. So, for example, if you just have 500 spaces for the VIP, you just select it here, and then the rest is going to be for the regular tickets. It's very, very simple, but it's super useful. Now, about the communication. So, this is one of the new features that we have at Odoo. Previously, we just had communication via mail and via SMS. But now we also have it via social posts. I'll go to that in a second. So, just a quick reminder, if you want to send a specific communication via email, you can select the template if you have it, the time you want to send it, or when you want to send it, etc. But now we also selected and added an additional thing, which is the social post. So perhaps if you want to create a post 1 hour before your event, so that it's in your Twitter, in your Facebook, in your Instagram, etc., whatever social media channel that is linked to your Odoo account, and as I showed you previously that you have in the model, then you can just create a post and it's gonna be displayed there. So as easy as showing the message that you want to share with your attendees and the image, etc. Save, and it's gonna be on your social media platforms. Okay, so for that, it's perfect. And now going to something else very important for the marketing department. Please tell me information is not important. It is crucial. And also for the customer satisfaction, we know at Odoo, because they spoil us a lot, that they're very careful with our dietary restrictions. If we have any, they're very concerned about it and they want to know. Perhaps we also want to know about our attendees to our event, if they have any, to be able to support them. So in this case, I already created a question to our attendees, such as if they have any dietary restrictions. I selected vegan, vegetarian, gluten free, or perhaps none. I'm actually curious, Kelly. Do you have any dietary restrictions? Something else you would like to add to our dietary restrictions?
Well, honestly, I don't think I am as picky as our viewers out there. No, I'm kidding. Um, when I'm hungry, I'm actually not picky at all. So sounds all good to me.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, good. So that we're clear. And something else that is very important is for our marketing department. How did the people learn about our event? So it is very important to know if our marketing strategy is working, to know perhaps which channel was the one that was more effective to get to our consumers, attendees in this case. So in this case, I created okay via website, social media, perhaps through a friend or other okay. And last, I added a question that is actually gonna bring us something very, very interesting, and it's something super useful for every company. Something related to lead generation, which I'll go to in a minute. So in this case, okay, what about the attendees that are actually interested in knowing more about our company, in knowing more about our products? Perhaps they're actually interested in actually buying our products. How are we gonna know which of our attendees would like to know more about it? Well, you just simply create a new question and you ask, are you interested? Yes or no? But I'll go to that in a minute. And now let's just check for the purpose of this demo. I already created a few answers for a few fake attendees to our event. And let's check how that looks. Okay, how did you learn about this event? Let's say I'm the marketing department and I'm very interested to see. Okay, so actually, most of our attendees, indeed, they said that the most important channel would be social media. That's why we added Odoo. We don't do things for nothing. And then back to our questions. Okay, so I was just telling you about the lead generation, right? So how are you gonna know who would be interested in knowing more? How would you know who you have to contact? Well, we have this feature when you go to configuration, you go to lead generation, and then here you can generate different rules to generate different leads. In this case, I already created one rule, which is the people that is interested in knowing more about our brand. You could perhaps ask a different question, something like that. In this case, if we go through it, okay, I just created a rule named interested, and it's per attendee. And in this case, if the attendee answers yes to a specific question, which in this case was to know more about our company or about our products, then this is going to generate leads immediately that we can contact. So it is as simple as that, and it is very, very useful. So going back to our event, something else that is added now on this new version, and it is very, very important and very useful for companies, is the booth management. So we heard before, how could we link our event to brands that actually want to be there and have a booth in our company? That's why we created it. So when we go to our booths, here we can create different booths for different setups with different names. In this case, I already created a few, such as the VIP booth, the standard booth, and the premium booth. Perhaps you have more, perhaps you have different names. Don't worry, it is super easy to create them. Perhaps you have another one called the special one. I don't know. And it is also perhaps a premium booth, so it's going to be created here. Okay. And when we check our booths, here you can see easily the ones that are available. So, for example, if a company wants to book a booth for your event, they can do it via website, which I will show you in a minute. And it's very easy, and it's going to be automatically recorded here. If someone actually reserves via website, here the system is going to put it as unavailable. But also, perhaps a company directly emails us or they call us, whatever. We can manually do it. We can say, okay, this one is already unavailable because it was already reserved. They didn't do it via website, but it is simple. It just offer you options in whatever way you want to manage your event. So I want to show you how it looks like on the website because it looks pretty cool, and I want you to have an idea of how it looks. So when a company goes to your event website, they're gonna have this specific part where they get a booth. So if you're a company and you're interested, okay, you can see here the different options. Perhaps you want a VIP booth, perhaps you want just something very simple. You can just select it here, no worries. And you can also see the specifications of each booth, the size, the different screens, etc. Of course, for the VIP booth, it's gonna be a bigger one. It's gonna be with more screens, etc. For the standard one, it's half the size, different screen. It's very useful, and I'm sure you're gonna use it and you're gonna love it. Okay, so going back to our events, something else that I wanted to show you, we also know that for you it is very important in the ticket to have a few contents about perhaps the instructions. Now with Corona, we know that it is very useful to tell the attendees, hey, you know what, you have to use the mask, and there's these regulations, etc. So here in the ticket instructions, in the part of the notes, you can just add all of this. You can format it a bit. You can even add, I don't know, an image or something like that. Whatever is useful for you, whatever you think it's necessary for your attendees to have in their ticket, it is gonna be displayed there. So it is very easy to set and it is very useful. And now also for the planning of your event, we have these notes. So this is for us, the event planners. Whenever you're planning an event, perhaps you want to add a specification such as, well, with slash you add, I don't know, like some text or a bullet list, etc. I think for the purpose of an event, it's very good to have a checklist of the things that you need to feel to accomplish a very, very successful event. So in this case, there's the checklist, which I already created, and such as very important, find a place, find a DJ, select a catering. I think it's super important, and then confirm everything. And it is very simple, but it is very useful again. And last but not least, let me also show you, because we were talking a bit about the barcode scanners. So whenever your event is actually happen and your attendees attend the event, there's going to be someone or a few people in the entrance of the event registering the people that are getting to your event. So what they can do is that they can just go to the registration desk, they can open this, and they here can see the tap to scan. Okay, so whenever they tap here, and they can scan the barcodes of your attendees, and this will immediately be linked to your attendees, so it's gonna automatically confirm the ones that attended, the ones you can check afterwards, the ones that did not come, etc. It is very, very useful. So yes, on my side, I think that's it. I hope it's very useful. I hope you made use of all these new features. If there's anything else you need to add, if there's anything else you would perhaps like to see, Kelly, please tell me.
Well, I think it was great. I just, I'm ready to get going to this festival, girl.
Okay, Kelly, but before that, we actually need to go to the Q&A. So if you guys please join me, and I'm here for you to answer all the questions regarding your events.
All right, guys. So thank you all for joining us for this Q&A. I am Tomas. I'll be guiding Maria through all the questions that we have. Maria, thank you so much for the session. It was really informative. I personally am quite excited about the Events app. So let's see what the people out there have to say about it, and if there's any particular questions that they may have. So let's dive right in.
Please, if you have any doubts, just don't hesitate to ask me.
That's it. So let's see. Not a whole lot of questions, to be honest. I mean, maybe we can start with something that I particularly had a look at and I found quite exciting, which was the booth management system. I remember from the last version, this wasn't there. So maybe you can talk to us a little bit more about that. You can tell us what the added value of this feature actually is.
Well, it's going to be really, really beneficial for all event organizers out there, because in this way they can actually organize and they can actually be super efficient with all the companies that want to join your event. So before, if any company wanted to be in your event, they had to perhaps email you, call you, but it was not the same as with this new feature when we can actually manage all of these new added features, such as the booth management. We can know which companies are going to be there, we can know exactly like the cost we want to give to them, and it's going to be all planned and organized.
Awesome. Really, really, really cool. I have a funny question here about the Odoo festival that you were
Yeah.
organizing on the session. Will you serve margaritas by any chance?
Por supuesto!
There you go. So everyone line up. Make sure you sign up. We'll send the invites shortly.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, Andrea is wondering whether the event app can be linked to a project in the project application app.
Well, so far I would need to check into that. I'm not really sure. So, but please, like, don't hesitate to leave your email. We'll check into that, and I'll get back to you with that.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, that's a little bit more project related, but
But if your question comes from like planning and organizing the event, I don't know if you took if you checked the last feature that I showed you, this new feature that we have, that on notes you can actually add checklists and tables. That will also help you organize the whole project for your event. But I understand your concern. I will check if it's possible to link it to our projects app.
great. So, I mean, make sure to keep this kind of questions coming as well. If there's anything in particular that you want to know about this, I mean, you just reach out to us. Is there maybe an email address that you'd like to share in case there's anything in particular? Maybe not so much about the project app per se with the linking with the events, but if there's anything that is more events related, of course, we will tackle it now, but we will give some information perhaps for contact in a
Of
bit.
course, in case you have any doubts, you can contact me in my Odoo email, which is mtj@odoo.com.
Great. Let's see if we have anything else out here. Oh, Kevin is wondering if there's any plans at all to use QR codes for ticketing, or is it just going to be barcodes for now?
I also have to check into that. As of now, we have the barcodes, and perhaps if you were following other talks about the events, we have now two designs on it, like the full page display or the thing that you can hold by your neck. Yes, but I will check into that. Don't hesitate, please, to come with me with any questions that you have on the events module.
Great, great. We do know that in other applications, the QR codes are certainly read by the barcode scanners that work with Odoo. So, I mean, that could be some degree of indication, but of course, like Maria very well said, best to look into that and make sure that we can get a proper answer to these kind of questions. Aurelian actually also mentions that there's a new ticketing printing feature added in V15, and they look way better than before as well. So for those of you who have a little bit more of an artistic eye, perhaps linked to branding or anything like that, maybe you're very much into marketing, then that's probably quite a nice, neat feature for you.
Yes.
GT is wondering, what about the reporting in the events application?
Reporting is great for our events model. We can report, for example, how many attendees actually came to the event, how many confirmed. Also, in the part of communication where I showed you about the different questions that we have, then you can see, for example, about the dietary restrictions of your attendees. You can check how many selected any question that you ask, and you can see all the reporting there.
There you have it. Quite neat. Let's see if we have any further questions. I think this is a fair one, and I actually was going to ask you this myself. So, what do you think personally? What is your favorite feature on the events app for version 15?
So personally, I think one that's going to be super, super useful is the social media post linked to the communication. Actually, I think in the company we saw the need for the event marketing, that it's very crucially intertwined with social media posts. That's why we added it, and you'll see all the benefits that it will bring when you start creating your events.
Awesome. What about oh yeah, so Riham, sorry if I butcher your name, I hope not. He has a question that I think has a lot to do with the interactivity of the events application. He asks, or he or she, sorry, he asks in particular if attendees can, after the event, leave their comments on event page, perhaps feedback. You can maybe talk a little bit about the interactivity that the events app has.
I would need to check about it. Like, you mean afterwards, like post the event? I would really need to check into that, but most probably there's a way that you can leave like a feedback. Of course, perhaps if you integrate another module into it, where you can leave like a survey or something like that, we can check into that.
And in terms of interactivity, it's also true that there's features like you can create like a sort of like a community chat room of sorts, right? So there can be interaction in the middle of the events, like during the events.
For the virtual events, I'm guessing so, but again, I would need to check into that. So yes.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, indeed, this is we've been living in a bit of a crazy time. Corona has made it quite difficult for everyone to be able to handle events. This is a clear example of that. Here we are online, and of course in Odoo we use this application. We use it in its entirety. So
yeah.
This whole event is being planned actually on this application.
Yeah.
So you can actually test it out completely for yourselves, right? I mean, you can get on all the different pages, you can get on all the community chats, and you can really just really explore it and get to know it better.
Exactly. Please don't hesitate to use the trial of our database. If you're interested in events, you can use it for free. So have a test on it, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna love it.
Let's see what we have. What else we have here? We have a question from Kelly. So is OXP managed by Odoo Events? I think we've literally just tackled that.
Yes.
The answer is...
I must say yes, indeed. Actually, yesterday I handled a shift where we were actually by using the Odoo Events, we were checking who actually participated in all the quizzes, and that's how we managed to distribute all the shoes for the Odoo customers that were actually using the quizzes
There you go. And I mean, it's also like it's external and internal.
for
I
the
mean, all of
whole
us
management. Yes.
as well. We are all very much involved. We can access to all. We can access pretty much all the information that
Yeah.
we need to.
For
So
the whole management of the event, that's what we use, and that's why it was super successful thanks to Odoo events.
there you have it. Let's see if we have any other interesting questions that we can tackle. We have a question here from Michael or Michael or Michelle. Hi, is it possible to organize some events which are both a online, I guess, and a physical event at the same time?
I mean, if I understand the question, it's like you want to handle the same event via online and via physical. I guess so. I guess you can manage the whole agenda and you can make a mix of physical events and like online events, of course.
Okay, seems like it's possible. So feel free to try it. Feel free to test it. Get on odoo.com, start a free trial, add those apps that you are interested in testing, and just start creating events and see how far you get. Let's see. We have very little left, so maybe time for one or maybe two quick questions. Lauren has a question. Can we create a blacklist for some customers? For example, a customer would like to attend an event, but we don't want him to be there. Is that a possibility?
I need to check into that. Well, I must say in Odoo events we don't, as far as I know, we don't blackmail anyone, we don't blacklist anyone. So I would need to check into that if it's possible. But
Yeah, it's a fair question,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. So let's see. Maybe we can have time for one final one if there's anything interesting here. Oh yeah, maybe quickly, maybe we can, if the survey app would be a great tool to gather feedback as well. Possibly.
Well, yes, but in this case, for example, it depends what type of survey. Like I just told you in the communications, or like in the questions that you can add to your event, then you can have reports based on the questions you want to add. So perhaps if you want to add a survey, such as like I just talked about during the talk about the different questions that I got, then you can get a reporting on that, which is very similar to a survey. I don't know if that answers your question, but personally, that would be my advice.
There you have it, guys. So we're out of time. Thank you all so much for your questions. Thanks for taking part. We hope that it was informative and as useful as we believe it was. And Maria, thank you so much.
Thank you,
It was
Thomas.
wonderful. And we'll catch you for the next one. Take care.
See you guys. Bye bye.